is being raised in a lot of single mother households and stuff, and so I really want to prioritize bringing back the nuclear family, men in the homes and us in traditional roles, and that's my belief.
So I said yes, but it's with a huge caveat, which is that both genders report greater life satisfaction when they have children. Like, children's good for everyone, and this idea that we're lumping it to women is part of my problem with this, right? So do women experience like greater life satisfaction? Yes, so do men. Except who do we expect to be home? Women.
That's
we're
not
like
true.
penalizing men and women. For example, if a woman wants to have a
Woman,
career,
get your ass in the house with them damn
it feels like
kids.
your side is saying, well, that wouldn't be good. Okay, well, she's also going to get life satisfaction from her career. In fact, there's a lot of acute happiness that often comes attached to a career. And the issue is that, like, men and women should have the agency to choose both.
Now, okay, so I want to talk on this topic before it goes further, because they're going to talk for a while, right? I feel like these feminists are speaking so personal and individualizing themselves that a lot of women do prefer kids. They want to have kids. That's their thing. And once they can't have kids or they give up and they lose the opportunity to have kids, then they have this motto. But these two women have kids that's saying that. So it gets very destructive when you have people with kids who are happy to have kids tell other people, yo, you don't need the kids. So it's tricky, bro.
These things, because they should both have access to it, right? There isn't a reason why we should tell men, women have to stay home, you must stay at work, you won't get a relationship with your children. You get a relationship with your kids for 6 hours a day.
Now, here's the problem with feminists and regular women. When you have women out here, beautiful women say, I want a man who provides, protects, I want to live a soft girl life, I want this. Most men would prefer their women to work 50-50, right? But you're told as a man, if you make a girl spend 50-50, you're not a real man. A real man take care of his family, this and that. You see the duality. You see how they're operating from this selfish perspective. But let's go.
I think that that's better, right? Speaking of the capitalism, I think if you look at models that have like 32-hour work weeks, you have greater happiness amongst men, women, and children because both parents are home with their children. And frankly, if a woman wants to not have a child, that's fine. That's her prerogative to do, right? You can still have great life satisfaction and happiness from not having a child.
I just want to say one thing, because she brought up capitalism. The nuclear family unit, I love the idea. Honestly, my dad was a stay-at-home dad for a while, then my mom was. They like switched on and off a little bit, which I loved having my dad at home. I thought it was dope. And I think it would be awesome if we could have a parent in the household, but the reality is feminism didn't stop that. It was capitalism. 1950s nuclear family unit existed because we were taxing the rich at 90%. We don't tax them anymore. Amazon and Tesla, they paid $0 in taxes. So I wish you could all be your trad wives that you want to be. I just don't know if your man will be able to afford the house to put you in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to really focus on the capitalism part of it.
So if you're not catching on how these females, they jump. First, it was men. Now it's capitalism. Now it's civil rights. They're everywhere with it.
If you want to be able to have a woman at home with your kids, you have to be able to afford to do that. And a lot of people right now can't afford to, even if they want to. So before attacking feminism, we should be eating the rich. We should be attacking billionaires and taking back the tax money so that you can have your nuclear family unit.
I wanted to speak on this one. Could you repeat the prompt for me, please?
Sure. No career would give women as much joy and fulfillment as raising children.
Okay.
This is incredible. Oh, it's in such good condition.
It's not gonna fit.
Oh, it's gonna fit.
Because there are large antiques in your area, there are drivers in your area.
Nice.
Uber.
At Spectrum, we
Uber.
believe you shouldn't have to choose.
Uber, y'all better pay me, man, because I ain't got YouTube Premium, so I'm running your ads, man.
That's
Okay. So I'm probably the oldest one here. Just turned 50 last month. So as a golden girl who has raised boys, I'm a boy mom who was a professional woman, and that cost me my marriage, thinking that the career was more important than the family. And so my position is from learning from the mistakes that I made to help younger women make decisions that they will be happy with when they're my age. And you brought up the word acute. There's nothing wrong with working. And I do want to say, we are not expecting the man exclusively works and the woman is exclusively home. Both of my parents worked and took time. You know, you work it out for your family with your husband. That's all that matters.
She
It
brought up
doesn't.
the nuclear family unit.
Nuclear family means mom, dad, sister, brother, or whatever it is. It doesn't mean only dad works and only mom is in the kitchen. Generations
Facts.
ago, mom may have side businesses, do other things, you know, sew, you know, bake, whatever it is. You do what's best for the family. All I'm saying, as a woman with lived experience, who has been an executive, who has had the big bonuses and all of that, I promise you, having a son that is a Marine, working with my ex-husband to raise 2 boys that we are very proud of, one that's going to the Air Force, nothing will give you that fulfillment than being a mother. I'm telling you now, the acute accomplishments are great, but legacy trumps everything.
But this is the
Everything is about legacy. Everything is about legacy, whether you like it or not.
thing of like fourth wave feminism especially is we want women to have agency to choose.
Absolutely.
And if you want to choose raising your kids, that's awesome.
Yes.
And if you want to choose a career, that's fine.
Yes.
I want even women to choose choices that might be worse in the long run because agency and choice is so, you want to talk about biblical. God gave us the ability to choose.
Right.
If you think that this is feminism is maximizing the capacity for women to choose, including what you might view as wrong, right? Because the problem is that if you limit women's ability to choose, all you do is you just make good behavior the necessity of survival. That's not noble. That's not anything that we strive for. Choice is fundamental to feminism.
You make good behavior a necessity for survival. Duh. Like, hold on, bro. This is why you'll find a lot of feminists are not religious. Good behavior means not sinning, not doing the wrong thing, doing the right thing, integrity when no one's watching. Like, hold on, bro. Yeah. I know, chat. Y'all must not be following me, chat. Y'all must not understand. She just said, nah.
Because it means you get to choose good or bad. But if you're good because you just have to be, that isn't meaningful. So we want you guys to have.
If you're good because you have to be, that isn't meaningful. She over here talking like the Joker and Batman. She over here talking like the Joker. Bro, I don't think... Okay.
We want us to have kids. We just want women to be able to choose. And there's increasingly pressure to pressure women. We want to talk about the waging and earnings gap. The earning gap exists for 2 reasons. One of the biggest reasons is because women will choose professions and have plateau careers during motherhood. That's the main reason that women earn less. The second reason is because they tend to work less hours. Again, because typically they choose to stay home with children. And I'm not saying career is...
Bro, do you hear the hypocritical words she's saying? She said the wage gap is there because women don't work as much as they have kids and they choose to stay home. Feminism, I thought, was about the choice to do what you want. So she's mad about the choice of majority women. Okay.
This stuff. But if you want to get comprehensive here and you want to talk about happiness and meaning and choice, what we're also doing to women, which is saying, you get to choose a career, but you're kind of a bad woman if you choose career over your children. We're not doing that to men. Men are choosing their careers over their children every day because we've told men.
Oh, hold on.
Their value is tied to the GDP output that they provide for their family.
Women have told men that. Men tell men, bro, be there for your kids, man. Fuck this job, bro. Go to your kids. Women put the dollar sign on men. If he can't do this, he got to be able to provide. You just heard what they said.
Just as anti-biblical, I want to talk about biblical. It's not the nuclear family that's biblical. It's intergenerational families and villages. And what we're telling men is leave your kids, have nothing else, work every day of your life so that when you're 50 and retire, your kids don't know you and they resent you. That's what we're telling people to do right now. As a feminist, I'm saying, no, both should choose. Everyone should choose, including men and including women.
I would argue that men get satisfaction from providing. I think that is their ultimate instinct. And I'm not saying working themselves to death. I mean, unfortunately, like I think the 40-hour work week is stupid. I think entrepreneurship is great for men because they can decide kind of what to do with their time. But I think innately, and my husband can attest to this, men want to provide for their family. And women tend to like to nurture their family. They tend to like to be with the kids more. So that's why they're choosing more part-time jobs. They're choosing maybe running a business. They're choosing paying hobbies. That is why that they do that. And I would also argue that women are not being pressured to stay home. I think women are being pressured right now in society to choose career over family and over marriage.
Well, this is completely unrelated since we're not going to be ping-ponging back and forth now. For an example, so just so you guys know, I was raised in a very traditional Christian religion. I was raised Mormon, and from the age of...
Bro, shit. This is crazy, bro. This is crazy. You are mad at men because you're Mormon? That's why your mama couldn't wear pants. She probably still can't wear pants. She's a Mormon. That is a religious choice. That is not a human right, you goofy. Bro, all right. Maybe it's just me. Maybe y'all not catching wind of what I'm catching wind of here, but she's dumb as a box of rocks. I'm sorry.
Birth until 18 years old, I was told that the thing that was going to make me the very happiest was having a family. That is something that is told to you in these kind of patriarchal religions, is that the thing that is going to fulfill you is having a family. The thing that is going to fulfill you is taking care of a man's needs. The thing that is going...
Now, I don't know too many black Mormons. I know that Mormons are slightly racist. How in the world... Never mind. Go ahead.
Fulfill you is having a husband. And the reality is, every person on the planet has some general idea about what's going to make them happy. And I refuse to believe that having children is going to be the ultimate goal for every woman on this planet or every man on this planet. And I think that the idea of putting people into small boxes and saying, women are women, therefore the thing that's going to make you happiest is popping a baby out of your baby hole, I think is dangerous. Because I was raised in a culture that told me that what was going to make me happiest was having a baby and popping it out of my baby hole.
She sounds like a kid. My baby hole. Like, come on, okay.
I went to a Mormon event, which is kind of unusual for me because I've been out of the church for a really long time now. And I was having a conversation with a woman who she'd gotten married when she was 20, had done everything traditional. She was a trad wife, you know, had her kids, her husband worked, she stayed at home. We're having a conversation and our kids are jumping on the tram together and she looks over at me and she's like, "Don't you just hate our children?" And I was like, "Excuse me, what?" She's like, "Oh yeah, my sister and I talk about all the time how awful being a mom is. Don't you just hate it?" I don't hate being a mom. You know why I don't hate being a mom? Because I chose to be a mother. Because the first time I had children, I was 30 years old. The first time I had a child, and I'm proud to be a mom. I'm proud of everyone who chooses to be a mom. I don't want everyone to choose that, but this woman who I was talking to had a hatred of motherhood, and her...
Bruh, they're bringing Mormon problems to the real world. Do you know how Mormons live? Go to Utah, bro. I've been to Utah, Park City, Utah, bro. You can only have 2 drinks at a time. If you get too drunk, bro, they're strict on everybody. They don't like black people. I don't care. I'm not going to be a Mormon.
Of motherhood came from a place where she wasn't given another choice. The reason why she resented what her life had become was because she had been told from birth that the only thing she was to become was to be a mother. Not me. I was whatever I wanted to be, and I chose to be a mom because that was a joy that I chose for myself. But I want you to know that I find children to be joyful, but not everyone does. And teaching every woman or every man that what's going to fulfill them in their life is children, I actually think is harmful. Because what happens when it turns out you have a kid and that doesn't fulfill you? Well, then you're a mom hanging out with me, watching our kids jump on a trampoline, thinking to yourself, I really hate being a mother. And
now, I'm going to show you how dumb she sounds. She's going to try to teach this ideology of feminism to kids, young ladies. She's going to take pleasure in that. Like she said, she's here for women. Those are kids. So they may not be your kids, but you want to influence someone's kids. But you don't want to take on the responsibility of having to be a good person. I get it.
I like to avoid that because I think that there is joy in children. I think there is joy in that. But it's not for everyone, and I don't want to teach every woman or every man that that's how we should be.
The same could be said about feminism, right? So like kind of what she was saying, I almost lost my marriage from prioritizing a career. And I had gained very